In this video, we'll demonstrate how to use the clone history module to check the status of your clone and cancel the clone request if necessary. We'll also explain how to roll back a completed clone. This video demonstrates cloning with a backup-based clone engine. But there are situations where the process cannot use this engine and reverts to the in-app clone engine. We'll point out a few critical differences. See this KB article in Hive for more detail. Click an item to go directly to that topic, or continue watching to cover all topics. We check clone status from the source instance. This list provides an overview of some clone-related fields, including state. Clone state values appear in the product documentation. Most of them are self-explanatory, but let's go over a couple that may be confusing. The active state applies only to the in-app clone engine. If your clone request uses the backup-based clone engine, as most do, it will not show an active state. Rather, it will stay in the requested state until completed. A state of hold means the server rejected the clone request, either because the clone was not ready to proceed by the scheduled time, or because additional clone requests were submitted before the first completed. By design, the system handles only one clone request at a time. This is because it takes a while to clone an instance, and if an error occurs, you don't want to duplicate that problem to multiple cloned instances, for example, development and test. The system rejects all clone requests submitted while a previous request is still pending or running, so you must wait for one clone request to finish before submitting another. If the previous clone is not yet complete when you request another one on the same or a different instance, the system displays this error message to remind you about the one-at-a-time request limit. And the request state is set to hold, which is a permanent state because the request will never run. So if your clone request ends up in the hold state, just wait until the previous request is complete and then submit the request again from the request clone form. You cannot resubmit it from the existing record. You can open any clone request record to view its details. For example, here are the settings used to generate this clone. And here's data about the clone, its state, when it started, and so forth. Check the clone log for general messages about the clone. It's perfectly safe to cancel a clone request any time before the clone is completed. Cloning doesn't change anything on the production instance. The backup-based clone engine copies from a backup of production. And even if the clone has already started, first it copies to a staging area, and then from there to the target instance. To cancel, just open a requested, scheduled, or active clone request and click Cancel Clone. You can always reinitiate a clone request after canceling by going through the Request Clone module. Note that when a clone is actively running, cancellation may take a while. Make sure the clone record is in a canceled state before initiating the clone again. For a period of 24 hours after clone completion, you can revert the instance back to its pre-clone state by calling ServiceNow customer support to request a rollback. You will be notified when the rollback is complete. Then, for in-app clones, the clone history reports the state as rolled back. But for clones completed through the backup-based clone engine, the state remains completed. For more information, please consult our product documentation or knowledge base, or ask a question in the ServiceNow community.